It happened again. Made some middle-aged white dude go full Karen because my video offended him and he doesn't understand how clothes work. Proving once again that white conservative men are the most fragile little bitches on the planet. So I recently made a video about the capital of Israel and how despite Israel claiming that Jerusalem is their capital, the international community treats Tel Aviv as their capital because they're not technically allowed to have their capital in Jerusalem because it's a violation of international law. And these are just facts. That is a factual statement. It was a factual video. And facts hurt this fragile little man's feelings so much that he looked at the logo that was on the sweatshirt I happened to be wearing and looked up that company and messaged them. Said you should probably tell your employees to not make political social media posts about sensitive social matters while representing your company. But didn't stop there, sent a link to the video, and then sent another message. I just so happen to be a Christian who believes that Jerusalem is the biblical capital of Israel and we should recognize it as such. And while I am not a potential customer of your business since I live in Virginia, it could be controversial and off-putting to other customers in your area. This is not the first time that this has happened. Somebody did this to another company because I had their shirt on a while ago and they were gracious enough to let me know so I could make a video about that particular person as well. But the funnier thing about this time is that while I am not an employee of any company because I work for myself, this particular time it actually happened to be my father's company. And my dad doesn't really do computers, so like I just handle his Facebook page for him, which means I got this message personally. So I finally got to do it, guys. Somebody wanted to speak to my manager and I got to go, hi, I'm the manager. I mean, sort of. I'm not a manager for the company. I'm my own manager, but I don't work for him or his company. But I got to respond on behalf of the company, and then I gave him an official company response saying, we apologize that a person wearing clothing with our logo on it made a video that hurt your feelings. Just as I'm sure that despite wearing an Under Armour sweatshirt, you are not an Under Armour employee, people who are not employed by our company have and wear clothing with our logo on it as well. However, we will be sure to let the creator know that he has offended you and pass your message along. Have a great day. Just to see what other shit I could goad him into because I'm petty and this makes great content. And oh, did it work. He responds, bless your heart. Now, honey, I'm not from the South, but I spent enough time there to know that that's not how you use bless your heart. As a business owner myself, I make a point to not mix politics and religion with business. I was just giving you a professional courtesy, letting you know that you're employed. Again, not an employee. Making off-putting content for future potential customers. Your condescending response was unnecessary. Furthermore, you could not tell from my position on Israel and Jerusalem. I'm not some snowflake liberal who gets his feelings hurt or offended by trivial things. Dude, are you kidding? You saw a fucking video on TikTok factually analyzing foreign policy, and you were so offended that you, a grown-ass man-child, looked at the logo on my shirt, assuming that I worked for that company, and took time out of your adult life to look up a one-man contracting company like 1,200 fucking miles away from you, and then complain to them about a TikTok video that offended you, made by a person who doesn't work for them. And then you follow it up with an unsolicited paragraph about your beliefs in a fairy tale book you've clearly never read, and how you believe that should dictate our foreign policy with a 75-year-old country. That is quite literally the most snowflake shit I have ever seen in my goddamn life. You act like it was a professional courtesy, which is fucking ridiculous. No legitimate, successful, self-respecting business owner would have the time or energy to watch a video on social media, get offended, seek out a company 1,100 miles away and message them to complain as a professional courtesy. And they'd probably also have the critical thinking skills and cognitive ability to realize that if a person with 500,000 followers on social media was employed by a company, their company would probably be aware of it already. But even if that wasn't the case, a professional courtesy would have extended to a message like, hey, I saw a political video on TikTok with a person wearing clothing with your logo on it and thought you may want to be made aware of it. It wouldn't be followed up with an entire monologue about how you're really offended because despite completely misunderstanding your own faith and foreign policy, you have really strong feelings about them that doesn't agree with this TikTok video you saw. So you might not be liberal, but you're certainly a whiny little snowflake. And you use the pathetically thinly veiled guise of professional courtesy to try to cover up the fact that you, as a whole grown-ass man, went this far out of your way, do full-on Karen shit, and try to speak to my manager because something as trivial as a TikTok video offended your delicate little feelings. How's that saying go again? Oh, right. Bless your heart.